There was a night where I sat alone in the darkness and I really thought about my own existence. What is my whole purpose in this life, in this world? And is it worth it being a good person into this world? And I want to tell you that story, how I got from there to where I am today. And I want to tell you where it all started, where I come from, how I lost myself in the process, and how one night gave it all back. I come from Romania and I grew up in rural Romania with my grandparents, and this is in the 1990s. And at this time, a lot of children will have been growing with their grandparents. It gave me a lot, spending my first 7 years of my life in that rural environment. It's a gift I will always treasure. My mother was working at that time in a different city, so for a long time I did not understood why I had to live with them and not be with my mother and my own family and being connected to them. Why did I have to go through that split? I didn't even have a chance. I was maybe 4 months, 7 months young at that time. It's unclear to me and to them. It was a beautiful childhood. I stayed with them for my first 7 years. And at that time, we didn't have a lot. One could say it was poverty, but we didn't starve. We had our own vegetables. We had chicken there that we can feed ourselves. So we didn't really starve. But I grew up in an environment where I was connected to nature. Every day I was touching the earth. I was connecting with the animals. And we had in the back of our home, there was a valley and a small forest. And every day I will be in that forest, creating my own universe and playing alone there and finding different creatures and birds, the sounds and the environment and the warmth and the embrace of that little forest. That was my entire universe there. But it was a fabulous time to grow up in that environment. And I realized how rare that is these days for our modern world to have that kind of environment. But it was my reality. And as a child, I always felt there is so much more out there that I don't have my answers to, and that today I could tell was the invisible world, the energy, the emotion. And in that environment, we didn't have the teaching, what it could be. We didn't have any guides. We had nothing. This is ex-communist Romania we talk about. We only had one channel on TV, a black and white TV, and that's all I had. There was only one phone in the entire village that a neighbor had, and you had to really ask them if you can make a phone call or if you can receive a phone call. It was like Christmas when you will get the phone call. So that was the environment for me growing up, and it was hard for me at that time, but now I take it as a blessing in my life. So years pass. From then, I'm 7, I moved to the city with my mother. She tells me she had to work. So we got there, I live life, I go to school, and I still have this emotion. And the kindness that I was trying to nourish was not received that large. People try to take advantage of that particular kindness and the emotion of feeling something, that there is actually much more that I can feel and I can see, and I don't know who to talk to and I cannot get my answers, and I will have dreams that will potentially at times manifest, and the deja vu moments and everything, and I was seeking answers and I was never getting them. Later on, when I get to high school, I find the first person, the first partner for myself, the first girlfriend at that time, which turns out to be a 10-year relationship. Every relationship has its own teachings, and it was detrimental in my life at that time. I hit a rock bottom at the end of that relationship where I felt I did everything in the books. What you're supposed to do, provide for your partner, be there for your partner. And this is what you're here for, to be in a relationship and maybe make a family and to make money. So that's what I felt it's all about. But somewhere deep inside of me, something was not clicking, because I could not be this harsh person and maybe a person that might look for my own interest in everything. I could not. I just felt it so alien. I found myself alien in the environment that I was living in at that time. A breakup came, and many breakups came from the same relationship, and one night I just totally found myself alone in a foreign country. My partner will have left at that time, and they just told me they want to move on with their life, and that's it. 10 years down the drain, just like that. I move homes, and later on I find myself sitting alone in the dark, crying, and trying to understand. And I was around 24, 25, I believe at this time. And I was trying to really clarify for myself, what is the whole point? I felt I did everything by the book. I felt I gave it my best to this world, and I'm still not enough. And I'm still lost. I felt more lost than ever. And I was doing all right financially at the time. And I felt money should be able to help me. I was not rich or wealthy or something, but I was paying my bills. I was buying the food I liked, traveling from time to time. And I felt, why am I not happy? Money is not buying me the joy and the comfort I might need. What did I do wrong? So what can I do? So I started drinking sometimes in the weekend, not a lot, just a bottle in the weekend of wine. That was it, nothing else. And often I will find myself alone, crying in my bedroom in the darkness and just really contemplating, is this even worth living anymore? I had a huge hole in my heart, in my spirit. There was a massive disconnect somewhere. I honestly did not know what to do anymore. And I just couldn't go back to my mother to talk about it. I just didn't want to be a burden in some ways. I honestly didn't have the courage to have that conversation. So I went and did what I felt was best. I'm gonna go and see a psychologist. I saw a psychologist, and I think in some ways it helped me. And I think I saw the person around 4 times. But I think this is where it's important that you need to find the right people and the right person to work with. Not all of them, all the specialists in the world, they might not be the right fit for you. And this has been a massive teaching in my life, that the people you're supposed to work with, they will come, and you have to look for them when you're ready. I just realized this is not helping me. And I tried to go out. I didn't know how it is to socialize with people because I was in a relationship since 16 and I'm 20 something. I have no idea how to date. I don't even know if I'm ready to do that. Do I want another pain in my life again to be hurt? I just didn't know what to do anymore. So I started to look into comfort. So yes, I had some funds, and sometimes I will buy comfort to socialize mostly. I did that for a little bit, and mainly I was seeking a way to heal and be safe and know that I cannot get hurt, until that didn't serve me anymore. Until I realized I'm just playing an act. I'm not living life. This is not a reality. And then I went to London, what I thought would be a 7-week boot camp where I go and approach people on the street and we socialize. Some people might see them as pickup artists, but for me, that was not the whole point. I just said, I need to do something with my life. I cannot be this empty shell in my home alone. I'm gonna die if I keep going like this. So I went there and I met beautiful people there, over 20 coaches in person. Every 4 hours I was talking to somebody else, coaching me different ideas. Okay, so I did the approaches, I went there, I met over 100 people on the street. That was the purpose of it. And I realized something. I was nobody. Nobody saw me. I was so afraid. I was petrified. I didn't like rejection. Rejection, rejection, rejection. I was just a pole on the street and that was it. Zero. And I was very well dressed. I had the expensive Hugo Boss suit. I had the expensive shoes. I had the expensive haircut. It didn't matter. Because I'm telling you now, I didn't have myself. I didn't have the confidence. I did not know who I am. And it came to me on that same week. I realized I don't even know my name. I'm afraid to even make the next approach anymore. And I do not believe my whole purpose is to approach people. I realized the problem, it's not outside. It's not them, it's me. I realized until I fix something that I can feel very heavily in my heart, in my soul, in my entire being, I feel something. And I know that going out and trying to approach all the ladies or whoever is there, it won't solve the main situation. It won't help it. So I found a person online through the same company and they said, what you need, I cannot help you with what you need. What you need is called ayahuasca and you have to come. You have to fly. I couldn't go to America at the time. So I did the next best thing. I researched, where is this thing coming from? And this was in late 2017. And I looked at it and I felt it in my heart. This is what I need to do. This is my last resort in a way. And I felt it profoundly that this is where I'm supposed to be. So in February 2018, I fly to Peru. and I go to a place with other people are, over 40 of us from different backgrounds, from different parts of the world, different cultures. And I'm supposed to have a tea that evening. And I don't know what to expect, but I knew in my heart, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I'm seeing this person in front of me, which looks like a farmer. He has a hat, he doesn't talk much, he speaks Spanish, and I'm just getting my tea, right? I get my own, and I'm sitting and sitting. And I went through hell, darkness and darkness and hell. And then something incredible happened when everything started to settle down. I see one person in front of me in the whole darkness, and this person is incredibly happy, and this man is talking to other people around him. And he looks at me with the deepest beautiful smile and the deepest compassion I could feel and the greatest joy I could see in his whole being. And he gets up, and I also get up from where I was sitting on my mattress. And this person, it's walking towards me, and I walk towards him, and this person is me. And we just embraced each other in that moment. And then everything started to be beautiful. It showed me love, it showed me kindness, it showed me joy. And maybe that's just the moment that I was seeking, not to feel lost anymore. The reconnection that I was looking for, it was always sitting in here. It was never outside. That one night gave me everything, my whole universe, the whole purpose, the hope that I needed in my life, the reminder, the reconnection that I needed so deeply, that I was seeking for over 30 years. I was seeking for that one moment that kept me and brought me to be here today to share this from my heart. Everything that has happened. Years later, I realized another important thing. The work can offer a glimpse and offer a possibility in one day. But the real work took years to develop. It took years to integrate into my life and to understand this beautiful symbiosis, the inner compass that was just gaining roots into the ground as a beautiful tree, that I don't need anything external. Everything I need was just a reconnection to myself, to the roots, to the earth. That's all I needed. And I was coming back year after year after year asking, tell me the answers. But the answers never came, because you see, the answers were always inside. And I believe the answers are also inside of you. There's a beautiful book sitting out there, and it's meant for you to read it. And that book guides you in life. All the answers are written there in time. It requires patience. It requires dedication. The real work is for certain. It will happen. That night wasn't the medicine. The real medicine is the long, slow work. The diet, the discipline, the year that followed after that, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, just like a tree takes time to grow. It is a practice. That's what it is. And it's also developing trust with a particular practice. It's developing trust with yourself, a symbiosis with yourself and the practice, and learning how it is to navigate this world, this life, how it is to be you, how it is to learn things about yourself. And if you are where I also were, that's the reality that most won't tell you. The answers don't come from me, they don't come from the neighbor. These are just puzzle pieces in a bigger book of yours. The answers will come from you, and it takes time. If you're near that dark place, I won't sell you a shortcut, but I will walk together with you as you find those unique puzzle pieces to you, to your book. And that's it. I am just a friend supporting this beautiful journey for you. Your friend, Claudiu.